The champagne flutes shatter against the marble floor, and 2,000 people gasp in unison. I watch from the back of the Sterling Convention Center as my father, Richard Voss, raises a crystal trophy above his head like he's just conquered the world. The spotlights make it gleam, make him look like some kind of visionary saint. My brother Marcus stands beside him, waving to the crowd with that practiced smile I've seen him use 1,000 times when he's lying. 10 years ago, my father's voice booms through the speakers, each word perfectly calculated. My son had a vision that would change medicine forever. A revolutionary spinal interface that could give paralyzed patients their lives back. Tonight, ladies and gentlemen, the Neuralink Mark 7 will make history. My phone vibrates in my hand. The notification glows on the screen. Daily authorization required. 47 seconds remaining. I built that device. Every single line of code. Every neural pathway mapping algorithm. Every safety protocol that keeps it from killing people. And up there on that stage, my father is erasing me like I never existed. 40 seconds. This is the moment everything changes. This is the moment the pedestal walks away and lets the statue crash. 35 seconds. 2 hours earlier, I was sitting in the Quantum Biosystems boardroom, watching my father slide a single sheet of paper across the mahogany table. The leather chairs probably cost more than my car. The view from the 42nd floor of the Helix Tower stretched across Research Triangle like we owned the whole damn city. "You're firing me," I said. Not a question. A statement. My voice was steady because I'd learned early how to make myself small. How to swallow rage until it settled somewhere deep in my chest where no one could see it. Richard didn't even look at me. "Quantum Biosystems is entering its next phase, Elena. Marcus needs to establish himself as the singular vision behind Neuralink. Investors prefer a clean narrative. One genius, not a support team. I designed the neural mapping algorithm," I said quietly. "I have the PhD in biomedical engineering. I'm the licensed physician who signs off on every single safety protocol because Marcus doesn't have medical credentials to authorize a Band-Aid, let alone an implantable medical device." Marcus leaned back in his chair, smirking at me like I was some annoying little sister who didn't understand how the real world worked. "Dad's right, Ellie. You're amazing at the technical stuff, but this is about leadership, vision. I'm the face people trust. The face people trust. The same face that lost $340,000 in a single poker game last year. The same face that called me at 3 in the morning because he couldn't debug a simple feedback loop and needed me to fix it before the morning presentation. The same face that's never written a functional piece of code in his entire life. 10 years, I whispered. I gave you 10 years. And we're grateful, Richard said, his tone making it clear he was anything but. But mechanics don't get equity, sweetheart. They get paychecks. Which you've received quite generously, I might add. Mechanics. The word landed like a slap across my face. I stood up slowly, reached for my security badge, the one with biometric clearance for every system in the building, and placed it on the polished table. It made a soft click that somehow felt louder than anything else in that moment. "I hope you know what you're doing," I said, and walked out. I left behind a $2.1 billion company I'd built in secret, line by line, night after night, while everyone else slept. Sitting in my car in the parking garage now, I can see it all so clearly. When I was 11 years old, I won first place at the district science fair for neural pathway modeling. I ran into my father's study with the trophy, so proud I thought I might burst. He glanced up from his desk for maybe 2 seconds. "That's nice, sweetheart. Can you fix Marcus's robotics kit?" He broke it again, and the school competition is tomorrow. I fixed it. Marcus won 3rd place. They took him out to dinner to celebrate. I learned early. My achievements were invisible. My usefulness was everything. 20 seconds. Every single day for 10 years, my phone has buzzed with the same notification at exactly 9 p.m. Neuralink system authorization required. Class 2 medical device. FDA compliance mandatory. Biometric verification, Dr. Elena Voss. I've authorized that system from my sister's wedding. From the hospital bed when my appendix burst. From a funeral. I did it because people's lives depended on it, because the technology I built could help them walk again, move again, live again. But Richard never bothered to understand the regulations. He thinks firing me removed my power. He doesn't realize the system doesn't recognize former employees. It only recognizes Dr. Elena Voss, MD, PhD, the only licensed physician registered in the authorization protocol. 15 seconds. I open the live stream on my phone. The Sterling Convention Center blazes with lights like some kind of medical miracle is about to happen. Marcus stands on stage beside Sarah Chen, a 34-year-old woman who was paralyzed 5 years ago in a car accident. She's standing now, the Neuralink Mark 7 interface gleaming against her spine, a testament to everything I built. Watch history happen, Marcus says, and the crowd leans forward. 10 seconds. My thumb hovers over the green authorize button on my screen. I think about Richard's dismissal. Marcus's smirk. 10 years of being invisible. 10 years of being the pedestal holding up someone else's statue. 5 seconds. I press decline. On stage, Sarah takes her first step, and then the alarms scream. Every Neuralink device in the building starts wailing. High-pitched, urgent, impossible to ignore. Red lights flash across the stage like emergency beacons. Sarah stumbles and attendants rush to catch her as the interface locks into safe mode, protecting her from system failure. The massive screen behind Marcus flashes bright red. UNUTER. Vision said, Supervisor Authorization expired. All units disabled per FDA 21 CFR Part 820. The crowd erupts. Investors are standing, shouting questions. Journalists are filming everything. Marcus is frantically tapping at the control tablet, but the system is completely frozen, locked down, dead in the water. Richard's face drains of all color. He looks like a man watching his empire collapse in real time. In my car, I watch the chaos unfold on my phone screen. The livestream chat is exploding with confusion and speculation. People demanding answers. Stock ticker showing Quantum Biosystems shares dropping. I feel nothing. No satisfaction. No guilt. Just the quiet certainty of someone who's finally stopped holding up someone else's world. The first call comes at 9:14. Richard. I almost don't answer, but curiosity wins. What the hell did you do? His voice is pure molten rage, the kind I've heard him use on incompetent executives right before he destroys their careers. I declined my daily authorization, I say calmly. I no longer work for Quantum Biosystems, remember? You fired me. You sabotaged us. There are 2,000 people watching this disaster unfold live. I followed federal protocol. Class 2 medical devices require daily biometric authorization from a licensed physician. You fired the licensed physician. That's not sabotage, Dad. That's consequences. Override it. Right now. I'm not asking. No. The word hangs in the air between us like something solid. Elena, I will bury you in lawsuits so deep you'll never work in medicine again. Sue me for following FDA regulations. Please do. I'd love to see how that plays in court. I hang up. My hand is shaking, but it feels good. It feels like power. 30 seconds later, my mother calls. Victoria. The guilt angle. I should have expected it. Sweetheart, please. Her voice is soft, pleading, perfectly calibrated to make me feel like a monster. Your brother works so hard for this night. Can't you just help? For family? Family? I laugh, and it sounds bitter even to my own ears. You watched Dad erase me tonight and said nothing. You've watched him erase me my whole life. You're being dramatic. Goodbye, Mom. The third call is Marcus. He's past anger, straight into desperate. Ellie, come on. We can fix this. Dad was wrong to fire you, okay? I admit it. Come back, we'll work it out, we'll give you equity, whatever you want. What's the override code, Marcus? Silence. There isn't one, is there? I say softly. What? There is no override code. The system requires my biometric thumbprint, which you don't have, which you can't fake, which means you're completely powerless without me. More silence. I can almost hear the gears turning in his head as he realizes what I've known all along. You're serious, he finally says. Completely. They'll destroy you, Ellie. Dad's already talking to lawyers. He already tried to destroy me. This morning. In that boardroom. What else can he possibly do? I hang up before he can answer. If you're enjoying this story of power, betrayal, and long overdue justice, hit that subscribe button. Trust me, you'll want to see how this ends. At 10:47, an unknown number calls. I almost ignore it, but something makes me answer. Dr. Voss? This is Jennifer Park, Chief Legal Counsel for Meridian Ventures. We're the lead investor in quantum biosystems. $400 million invested based on due diligence, the personally conducted. My heart starts pounding. I'm listening. I need you to understand something very important. Her voice is crisp, professional, but there's an edge to it. Your father filed an emergency complaint with the FBI 3 hours before he fired you. The world tilts. What? He claimed you've been threatening corporate sabotage for months. Installing ransomware. Stealing proprietary code. There's a warrant for your arrest being processed right now. He planned this, Dr. Voss. He planned to fire you and frame you before you could respond. I can't breathe. The car suddenly feels too small, too hot. That's insane. I know, Jennifer cuts me off. Which is why I'm calling. Stay wherever you are. Don't go home. Don't go to the office. I'm sending someone to you. We need to talk before the FBI finds you. Why are you helping me? Because I did my homework, she says. And I know who really built Neuralink. 20 minutes later, Jennifer Park is sitting in my car with a laptop and a man she introduces as David Chen, a forensic security expert. They're not what I expected. Jennifer is sharp, mid-40s, wearing a suit that probably costs more than my monthly rent. David is younger, intense, with the kind of eyes that miss nothing. Your father's been planning this for 6 months, Jennifer says, opening files on her laptop. He knew the IPO was coming. Knew Marcus couldn't maintain the illusion alone. He needed you gone, but he couldn't risk you talking to investors or regulators after. David pulls up documents on the screen. He planted false audit trails in the system suggesting you installed backdoor access codes, created fake email threads where you allegedly threatened the company, even forged your signature on documents claiming you demanded equity or you'd sabotage the launch. I stare at the screen. It's meticulous, professional, completely fabricated. Why are you showing me this? I ask. Jennifer's expression hardens. Because I spent 3 weeks doing due diligence before recommending that $400 million investment. I personally reviewed every patent, every technical document, every piece of code. I know who really built Neuralink, and I know your father committed securities fraud by misrepresenting the company's technical leadership to my firm and every other investor. She slides a document across to me. This is a sworn affidavit I prepared tonight. It details every lie Richard told during fundraising, every patent Marcus claimed that's actually filed under your name, every safety protocol you signed that he couldn't legally authorize, every single piece of evidence that you are the architect and he's just the showman. What do you want from me? I whisper. Authorization first, she says firmly. Get the systems back online so patients aren't harmed. Sarah Chen and 47 other people are depending on those interfaces. Then we're going to burn this company to the ground and build something new. With you as the actual CEO. I look at her for a long moment. You're serious. I don't joke about $400 million, Jennifer says, or fraud, or watching mediocre men take credit for brilliant women's work. For the first time in hours, I smile. We return to the Helix Tower at midnight. The boardroom is still full. Richard, Marcus, board members, investors, and 4 FBI agents standing near the door like sentinels. Elena Voss? The lead agent steps forward, hand moving toward his handcuffs. You're under arrest for corporate sabotage and… Agent Morrison. Jennifer's voice cuts through the room like a blade. I'm Jennifer Park, representing Meridian Ventures. Before you proceed, you need to see this. She hands him a tablet. That's a federal compliance audit from an independent FDA consultant, completed 1 hour ago. Dr. Voss's actions tonight were legally mandated. The system lockdown was automatic when her authorization expired. It's not sabotage, it's compliance with federal law. Richard stands up, his face red. She's lying. Shut up, Richard. Jennifer doesn't even look at him. Agent Morrison, page 6 shows the real crime. Quantum Biosystems has been operating Class 2 medical devices for 18 months without proper physician oversight. Marcus Voss doesn't have medical credentials. Every patient authorization he signed is fraudulent. Every single one. Marcus goes pale. I watch the realization hit him like a freight train. Jennifer continues, relentless. Page 12 details securities fraud. Richard Voss told investors that Marcus designed the neural mapping algorithm. Patent records show Dr. Elena Voss filed it. Alone. 3 years before Marcus was even hired by the company. He lied to secure funding. That's federal securities fraud. The agent's expression shifts as he reads, his attention moving from me to Richard. Dr. Voss, Jennifer says formally, turning to me. Meridian Ventures is invoking our fraud protection clause. As of tonight, we're calling our $400 million loan and forcing an emergency audit. We're also offering you a position as Chief Medical Officer and primary stakeholder of a new entity that will be acquiring quantum biosystems technology assets at bankruptcy auction. Richard lunges toward me, his face twisted with rage. You ungrateful little… Sir, step back. Agent Morrison's hand moves to his belt, his entire posture shifting. His eyes are on Richard now, not me. Mr. Voss, I'm going to need you to come with me to answer some questions about these patient authorizations and the complaint you filed this afternoon. This is ridiculous, Richard shouts. She's sabotaged us. She's trying to steal the company she built, Jennifer says quietly. Every patent, every innovation, every line of code, all hers. You just put your son's name on it and sold it to investors. I watch my father being led toward the door by FBI agents, watch Marcus standing there frozen, and I feel something break free inside my chest. Not satisfaction exactly, just release. Like I've been holding my breath for 10 years, and I can finally exhale. If this story gave you chills, smash that like button, and drop a comment telling me what you would have done in Elena's position. Now let's see how this ends. 6 months later, I'm standing in a new building, smaller than the Helix Tower, cleaner, more honest. The sign is being installed outside as I watch. Voss Medical Technologies, Dr. Elena Voss, founder and CEO. Behind me, equipment from Quantum Biosystems sits in careful rows. I bought it all at bankruptcy auction for pennies on the dollar. The neural mapping servers, the development hardware, even some of the furniture, everything I built, finally under my own name. My phone buzzes, a news alert. Marcus Voss sentenced. 4 years federal prison for healthcare fraud. Another notification. Richard Voss faces civil suits from 47 investors seeking combined damages of $800 million. Victoria tried calling last month, left a voicemail asking if we could talk, if maybe I could help her with legal fees. I blocked the number. Sarah Chen walks into the office. She's using a cane now, but she's walking. The new Neuralink interface properly authorized, properly supervised, properly built has given her mobility back. Dr. Voss, she says, smiling. The first patient for the new clinical trial is here. I look at the equipment, the building, the future I'm building with my own hands, not as someone's support system, not as the invisible pedestal, just as myself. Let's get to work, I say. I built the pedestal once. I held up someone else's statue for 10 years while they took all the credit, all the glory, all the power. I learned early that my achievements were invisible, that my worth was measured only by my usefulness to other people's dreams. But pedestals aren't meant to be permanent. They're just temporary structures. And when the pedestal finally walks away, the statue doesn't just fall, it shatters. I'm not building pedestals anymore. I'm building something real, something mine, something that has my name on it, my vision driving it, my hands shaping every piece of it. Richard taught me that mechanics don't get equity, but he forgot to teach me the most important lesson. Sometimes the mechanic is the only one who knows how the whole machine actually works. And when you fire the mechanic, the machine stops running. I smile, pick up my tablet, and head toward the lab where my patient is waiting. There's work to do. Real work. Important work. And this time, I'm doing it for myself.